Ladies and gentlemen, the sun is waking up. And there's a comet within a comet? Why does astronomy have to be so sexual? We got a lot to talk about. A couple of days ago, Elon Musk was like, hey, y'all, to make more money, I'm building secret tunnels that are not so secret from California to Nevada. And then there were 6.7 earthquake, followed by more earthquakes. And then this morning, we had a 5.5 earthquake in Ferndale, California. And anytime there's an earthquake on or near the seams, I'm always like, whoa. Plus, we're getting Alaska earthquake action, including a 4.5 in Otka, Alaska. We've still got all the gas giants on the same side of the sun bunching up. And then we have the terrestrial planets coming around with only Mercury out in front. So in about another month, we're going to have some more super duper imbalance in our solar system. We are on day 6, I think, of our Mercury retrograde of 41 days. I don't know, my counting system is all messed up. I'm not good at math. If you came here because you need me to be a math expert, uh-oh. And I'm having to have a weird interpersonal balance between being super grateful because y'all are the ones who keep me here, who keep me up and running, who keep me safe, who keep me fed, and who keep me from having nicotine freakouts. And did I mention the lights on? And electronics to give you guys the information with. But I do a super duper fantastic job, and out of the 377 million Americans, I'm like one of the few who's been like, don't trust Republicans, don't trust Democrats. Sorry to say this, but from what I've seen, don't trust billionaires. And I've been like that for 7 years, 7.5. Personally, it's been like 20 with some bouts of hope and optimism in politicians in the last 20 years, but mostly it's been just disgruntled, jaded, like, hey, wait, why the hell you guys trust these guys? Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I've done a great job, but I solely rely on y'all, so it's a weird mix, but sometimes my ego gets out of control. What I'm trying to say here is one of the reasons I've been super hyper vigilant about Arthur is because the last time Venus went retrograde was 1.5 years ago. That's 1.5 years ago. And 5 days later, we had Category 5, Hurricane Michael. And Arthur is a tropical storm, and hopefully will not kill anybody. But Nicholas Barreto, who's part of the wonderful weather Twitter team, is letting us all know Cyclone Amphan continues to get stronger. Winds have increased to 165 miles per hour, and the pressure drops to 901 millibars. So yeah, when I say you can expect, or you should prepare for, a Category 5 typhoon, cyclone, hurricane right after Venus retrograde, I don't exactly know where it's going to show up, but every time we see these points, it has major possibilities. And so though it didn't appear in America, it has appeared in the Indian Ocean, which definitely makes this storm the most intense on record in the Indian Ocean and one of the most powerful storms ever worldwide. This storm may begin to weaken as it is undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle. And so this is going to be a deadly and damaging storm. And as your planetary defense commander, I fear this is going to kill a lot of people with winds, storm surge, rain. And honestly, man, 2020 just has the weirdest retrograde vibe to it, with with Pluto retrograde, Venus retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. Everything is super bass backwards. I feel like I've done a good job pumping out good information that sometimes is inspirational and hilarious. Hey, even though I got to read you headlines like, hey, some 108 million people, which would be 1/3 of America, in China's northeast region are being plunged back under lockdown conditions as a new and growing cluster of infections cause a backslide in the nation's return to normal. And we have been following a passage out of Nostradamus all year long here at THORnews and Asteroid Fight Club that has helped us out greatly. And so, at some point in the middle of the year, the plagues are supposed to multiply. And you could take it or leave it based on whatever your television tells you or social media. But we are sticking by that, although There's supposedly trouble with the great woman in May we're looking for. Trying to prevent it if we can. Prophecies for damage mitigation. And so I'm doing the very best I can in these dangerous and confusing times. Yeah, I'm a Christian, and I believe these plagues are real, dude. And you should be protecting yourself, your family, and your friends. We've now reached 91,000 COVID deaths in the United States. And I'm just going to remind you that we'll probably be at 100,000 COVID deaths by Monday, 200,000 by August 1st. And real Donald Trump and Elon Musk both predicted 0 COVID deaths by the end of April, at a time that I was warning everybody that this would be bad and it would continue bad and it would stay bad. So, I know it's a popularity contest, and in that I'm losing, but overall with God and with Asteroid Fight Club and all the great people out there, I think I'm appreciated. So like I said, I'm balancing my ego. I'm doing okay because I'm super grateful. I'm not saying I'm better than everybody else. I'm just saying I'm frustrated because we are totally going to botch the reopening. Today, the stock market is up like 3% on hopes of reopening and hopes of a new vaccine that may be ready in a year, which we've watched them roll out like a new vaccine every 2 weeks. That's like, oh, this one's going to work. And the thing is, if it does work, it won't work for a year to a year and a half. They always forget that part. But wait, there's more central bank activity probably happening behind the scenes. And for now, everyone is taking their National Enquirer Insider Edition placebos, and I'm hunkering down. But I've got smoke, so I'm still pretty cool and pretty optimistic about it. Eventually, the good people who like to be honest and like to take care of we have to take care of each other, man. There's billions of people on the planet that no one is a self-made man. We got to take care of each other. And so, like, every single meteorologist I've seen out there is saying that everything is setting up for a super nasty hurricane season. And though I appreciate and have great faith in the atmospheric defense team, things can go sideways in this scenario really fast. And so right now, the thing we're dealing with as Earthlings is Amphan. It is definitely the most sci-fi action film thing on the planet right now. The forecast is grim. We're talking about a record-breaking 900 millibar, which is a Category 5 WTF storm by THORnews terms. It's going to come up, approach India. It has a weird hitch spin, and then it's going to push in. And so the worst part of the flooding, rain, and storm surge is going to come from like here and here. And this is just a giant cove. So that's going to create extraterrestrial factors that will lead to more flooding, and more people should be evacuating and getting as high, as far away as they can in a social distancing pandemic environment. And all this doom is like an aphrodisiac. So at the same time, I got to fight my mind to keep the image, like the holographic images of Emma Watson, Selena Gomez, Billie Eilish, and many others out of my mind. We got tornado warnings in St. Pete an hour ago. That's the thing, dude. I don't know. That, like, there's a whole pirate aspect to all of this. Many times at THORnews, I've been talking about the pirates and the witches, trying to get normal people to understand what we're dealing with all the underworld stuff. And so Wall Street is just like a giant group of pirates, man. And it's my job to get the pirates, the witches, and the people to work together before it all falls apart. Weather. Something you don't see every day. ITCZ breakdown being explicitly shown in 7-day average forecast fields by both the European and CFS weeklies in early June over the East Pacific. This is one of the strongest long-range signals I've ever seen for early season tropical cyclogenesis. And so we keep getting red alerts that this may be a very deadly and damaging hurricane season. And that though I do believe in atmospheric defense, A, I cannot tell you 100% sure that is exactly what is happening. And B, in the middle of July last year, a quiet, silent celebrity Asteroid Fight Club was put together for one of the greatest single nights of rock and roll, multiple bands I've ever seen in my entire life. And then I got a message, someone saying, I'm dismantling it and stealing it. And so, just like they dismantled Celebrity Asteroid Fight Club, which was badass and you would love the music, they, at some point in time, they might be able to dismantle the atmospheric defense team. So, it's 2020 is just going to keep getting 2020er. And the election is 6 months away. And my projections now have us losing anywhere between 300,000 and 400,000 people to COVID by the election. And so it's my job as Planetary Defense Commander to get everybody to work together and to get people from stop focusing on an election that is 6 months away when we have countless problems that are facing us today and more new problems keep showing up. Empires rise and fall on solar maximums and solar minimums. And yeah, we've been in a deep solar minimum, but nothing too abnormal. I mean, plagues have shown up multiple times in the last 1,000 years, usually at solar minimums. Presidents get impeached, usually at solar minimums. And so when solar maximum and when the sun starts to wake up and kick more good light out there, then it'll be easier for us all to get along and get together and for good ideas to work. I fully believe that. It's like the whole light and darkness thing. During solar minimums, the darkness gets to just run rampant. And so, here we go. Yeah. And, I'm get busy living or get busy dying. And if you are going to get busy living, I ask that you get living smart, which means wear a mask if you go indoors. And no, technically, if people can stay separated, I don't think small groups should be prohibited from going to the beach. But then you put it in the hands of first responders, police, to regulate people when what we need is Americans who can regulate themselves and act smart. Thank you very much. I'm pumping out real red pills all day, and what I've been saying is that, hey, another major variable, as this plague was, is now that petroleum extraction has gone way down, you got the ships that are just filled with it with nowhere to go because we aren't using it as much. We're going to see more surprise earthquakes and volcanoes on top of all the gas giants being on the same side, because Earth is tiny compared to the big ones, and those two bad boys are coming together. Although in this frame they kind of look like misshapen boobs, which I would be totally okay with, if she was cool, smart, funny, loyal, or just capitalism, communism, and socialism are all super outdated. Unrelated, Josh Morgerman, a cyclone, the hurricane man. Behold, Category 5 cyclone. JTWC estimates 140 knots. See, this is before it had really gotten going. Now it's up to 165 miles per hour. It's getting stronger. Last I checked, it'll be destructive at landfall Wednesday. Today is Monday, if you were wondering, but technically every day in May is May Day. West Bengal, India, or Bangladesh. We will be watching, but it's definitely going to cause major problems, and it is going to kill lots of people if miracles aren't made and all the great decisions are chosen. And then it's going into a strong storm surge situation into a cove. Made that clear? And as Planetary Defense Commander, it took me 3.5 years to say, hey, I'm not happy with our Commander-in-Chief's performance. All right, that's all I have to say about that right now. God forbid, we have to start dealing with Category 5 hurricanes making landfall in the United States in 2020. The election is 6 months away. 6 months is so long in 2020 terms, man. But I ain't complaining about it. Free will is real. I think destiny is real too. And so people are going to make their choices. And so what I'm just asking is that you make good choices that protect you, your family, and even people you never even met, i.e. wearing a mask when you're indoors. I'm just not a fan of the people who can't get on board with wearing a mask indoors during 2020. I mean, the Category 5 hurricanes are now here. And by here, I mean Earth. Everything is intensifying. But hey, dude, if you want to stand on a beach when a Category 5 is headed your way, and call it a hoax, that is your right. But by not wearing a mask indoors, you bring a Category 5 possible hurricane to other people's own inhalation system, or the loved ones they have that are older or have pre-existing health conditions. Another erupting volcano, Sakurijima volcano, vigorous eruption yesterday. Volcanian activity continues from the summit. And Grimes and Elon are like, we appreciate power. Matty Greenspan, first airlines, now he's selling the banks. Warren Buffett, the Oracle, is expecting another sell-off. And so the smart money is dumping all of its money. Today the stock market's up like 3%, but my market crash prediction extends over the whole 40 days of Venus retrograde, because that's how it works. It's a 40-day like Jesus in the desert, 40 days, 40 nights. So you can't judge how the 40-day period has gone on day 6. We got to wait till day 40. 1, Elon and Grimes appreciate power. Super cyclone Amph and Amph. It's like Banff, Nightcrawler when he teleports. I mean, look at that. That is incredible. And that is not the first time that these planets have swung around. They're all interacting with each other. It's all connected. We are all in this together. When I say that, that includes the planets as well. Isn't that wild? It is. And so here, if you just look at this giant wind flow, you can see that the Earth has done this, probably through orbital progression processes, thousands, if not millions of times, and carved it out. And so it's got teeth there. Yeah, so this is a scary event for fellow human beings. But a lot of times, especially in May, that is the look on my face. But definitely try and get some sunlight in. Vitamin D is good for you. My dad looked like Robert Redford. I miss my dad. But the biggest American story is the flooding in the Appalachian Mountains that's coming over the next 2 or 3 days. Chicago knows what I'm talking about, as Illinois just got a ton of rain. Texas knows what I'm talking about. They just got a foot of rain in less than a week. Elon, Grimes, and Taylor appreciate power, and they love money. I like cigarettes and beer and the greatest kisses in the universe from the most beautiful women in the world. Yeah. And so Comet Atlas will get closest to the sun on the 31st of May, which is like 13 days away. Although time is really fluid in 2020. So what does that even mean? We got a comet within a comet. What is going to happen next? It almost looks like a wishbone. Make a wish, baby. Make a wish. I'm going to wish for good things and world peace, and we're all fed, and we all learn how to get along, and we all learn how to improve everything. That's what I'm going to wish for. We got a storm in the West Coast that continues to bring early summer snow to the Sierras, and the Appalachian states over the next 2 to 3 days are going to get probably 6 inches to a foot of rain in some spots, I would guess. This is the number one danger to all human beings if you're anywhere near this cove. And super duper happy birthday to Tina Fey. Because smart, cool, funny people are technically my favorite people. People who can make us laugh. Laughter is like medicine. And so, especially beware of people who never are funny. If people are always just angry and blaming people or things, then that's a red flag, Like, funny people are the best. Although good people are the best. Good, funny people are the best. And I love good people. Technically, I love everybody, though. And I protect everyone, the planet, and the animals. That's my job. That's what I do. I'm going to continue to try to do it. All I can do is do me. That was a masturbation reference. Asterisk. Okay, I've been watching too much Brooklyn 99. Asterisk. It's a really great show. I've been watching Brooklyn 99, and I've been watching the local Houston press conferences that the sheriffs will have anytime that there is a shooting or that someone loses a life. Because crime is up in Houston, although our COVID numbers have been pretty good relative to the Northeast. All right, stay cool, and I will talk to you soon. God bless everyone. And I love you, and I appreciate you, and you are the reason I continue to do this. And so that's pretty cool. It's a relationship, and I like it. Although, piss poor, we're getting D- as far as the overall grade for the collective in the world, how we're doing. So let's try and improve all things because we have maximum room for improvement. I love you, Tina. And I love you too, Jesus, and everybody else.